Hey, what's going on, guys? Bane back with another video, and today this is always the hook. This is my sports show, sports podcast, whatever I want to talk about in sports, I do it here. And today we're going to be talking about NFL Week 10. We're going to review a couple games. I think I got 3 written down right here. And then later in the show, in the podcast, in the video, I'm going to give you my 3 best bets for Week 11, and we'll go from there. So before I get started into the first game, make sure to like the video, share it please, and make sure to subscribe. Okay, so the first game I want to talk about is the Pittsburgh Steelers winning 28-27 against the Commanders. This was a great back and forth game. The Steelers haven't won like a shootout like this since, I don't know, it's been probably 8 years or so since the Steelers won a real shootout like this. I believe the past 3 or 4 seasons, when the team they're facing scores over 24 points, they've lost the game. I believe that is a correct stat. This was also the first game in 4 seasons that the Steelers did not attempt a field goal, which going forward for the Steelers is going to be really good, being able to score in the red zone. So that's a good look for them. But let's see who scored a touchdown here. We got George Pickens, Austin Eckler, Freiermuth, Austin Eckler again, McNichols, the backup running back, or third-string running back, I believe, since Brian Robinson's out for the Commanders. And the Steelers' newest or second newest acquisition, whatever, Mike Williams, wide receiver from the Jets, previously on the Chargers. Russell Wilson threw a beautiful touchdown pass with 2 minutes left in the game to Mike Williams to really seal the deal for the Steelers here. Here's some of the team stats. The Steelers continue to rush the ball very well and continue to hold the opposing team not very good rushing, if I'm being honest. The big takeaway from this game is Mike Tomlin continues to be proved correct by Russell Wilson. Everybody hated the move going from Justin Fields to Russell Wilson. I was not one of them. I backed Russell Wilson. I backed Mike Tomlin just because I know he's one of the top 4 or 5 coaches in the league. Right now, he's probably the coach of the year. I just think it was a great move, and he's been proven right. And Russell Wilson had 3 touchdown passes, didn't get to 200 yards, but he's proven him correct. Here it is. Yeah, Russell Wilson, 195, 3 touchdowns. Jaylen Warren and Najee both had 2 really good games. George Pickens continues to look like a young stud he is. 91 yards, a touchdown, great touchdown catch. Also, he had a great catch down the sideline, barely got his feet in. It kind of looked like prime Tony Toe Tap, Antonio Brown. And Jalen Daniels had a decent game as well. 202 yards, decent completion percentage. It was just the blitzes making him hurry up, really get the ball out quick, and make quick decisions. And as a rookie, it's very tough, especially against the top 2 defense that the Steelers have. Jalen Daniels is going to be fine. This was just a game. Mike Tomlin's been around forever. He doesn't really lose to rookie quarterbacks, similarly to Andy Reid or Bill Belichick. It was just a bad matchup for them. I did bet on the Steelers last week, money line, so I got the plus money there. But those are just some of my thoughts for this game. Jalen Daniels is going to be okay. Mike Tomlin continues to be proved correct. And on to the next one. All right, on to the next game. I wanted to talk about the Bills really controlled this whole game and beat the Colts up. Okay, the first play of the game, I believe Flacco threw an interception. Let's see. It's not going to be there. But I know I think it was the first play game, Flacco threw an interception. Then I believe the second drive, he threw another interception. So the Bills got up to a 10-0 lead right off the bat. And I was wrong. I thought this Colts team had players, paid players in key positions. They got Eddie Speed. They got Zaire Franklin. They got Kenny Moore. They got the whole offensive line, Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, Downs. They got all these guys that are seemingly good enough to win right now, so they put in Joe Flacco. I was behind that. Kenny Moore comes out after the game and said, basically, nobody works. The building is screwed. Nobody works. It just shows me that this is not a team that can win, and I was wrong of my opinion of putting Joe Flacco in was the right decision. AR needs to play. This team is not ready to win. And the tap out, I made a video about it. The tap out of AR, yes, it was terrible. It was stupid. You can't tap out like that. But seemingly, he didn't know any better, because this building seemingly is crazy. There's gambling in the building. There's showing up late for meetings in the building. There's disrespect to the staff in the meetings. Whoever, from the top down, this building just needs to restart. I don't know. I'm kind of confused, because looking at on paper, they have good players to win. Their defense is solid. Eric Armstead, I forgot about in the middle. It's just, it's very interesting. They need to put AR back in. Justin Field or Josh Allen even threw 2 interceptions. Joe Flacco threw 3 interceptions. I missed that. They just need to move on to AR. Start from the top down. Get some of these old people out that clearly are not leaders in the locker room, who we thought, like, I don't know, Jonathan Taylor. There was problems in the locker room. Jonathan Taylor held out after having a terrible year. There was tons of problems in the locker room, and he won a new contract. And then everybody was pitching about the Colts not paying him. How's one of your leaders, supposed to be leaders in your locker room, allowing all this stuff to happen in the locker room, and he wants money? It just seems a little hypocritical to me. But anyways, see, they have people. Alec Pierce, Josh Downs, Adonai Mitchell. Michael Pittman was out today, or during this game, but I don't know. AR just needs to go in. Maybe they'll give Joe Flacco 2 more games, and after the bye, when they know they're done, they'll put him back in for the final 5 or whatever it is, 4 or 5 games. But my main takeaway from this game, Kenny Moore's statement shows us that this locker room, this building is completely lost. And AR never had a chance to succeed. He never knew how to act like a pro. I just don't like it. Somebody needs to get in there and teach AR what to do. And the third game I wanted to talk about was the Lions versus Texans. Great game. Terrible first half. Bunch of turnovers. Second game, the Lions came out at halftime. MCDC told them something during halftime. Had a great speech, I'm sure. And they came out looking different. Just absolutely controlled the entire second half of the game. Look, touchdown, field goal. Came 10 point. They were down 10 points at halftime. No, more than 10 points. Down 16 points at halftime. MCDC obviously told them what to do. The team came out with a different attitude. Jared Goff had a bad game statistically, 5 interceptions, but even with those 5 interceptions, I kept seeing during the game when someone was hurt or when there was a ref timeout, just talking over. He was in the huddle with his teammate, telling him, "Hey, we got this. Just stay with me. You can clearly tell that this team has belief, no matter how much they're down. They have the belief and the camaraderie that they can come back. And it was evident in this, and it's very evident that the Lions are 100% the best team in the NFC, and they are my Super Bowl representative for the NFC at this point in the season. I don't really see it changing unless the 49ers look unbelievable towards the end of the season. I just think it was very impressive what the Lions did after halftime. They really came out and shut Houston's offense down completely. Shout out to John Mechie. He had cancer his rookie year, leukemia, and he came back last year, and then this year he finally got his first career touchdown. So great story from him. Shout out to him. I think Nico Collins will be back soon, so I think the Houston Texans will be fine. But I just think this is a great story for the Lions. This game, it's pretty awesome that they were able to come back from 16 and really set the tone in the second half. Okay, so before we get to my 3 best bets for the week 11 of the NFL season, tell me what you think of those 3 games that I mentioned, and tell me what games I missed and what was your biggest takeaway from week 10. Okay, so my first best bet of week 11 is the Los Angeles Rams minus 5.5 at New England. So looking here at the Miami game that just happened Monday night, last night for me, I'm recording this on Tuesday. The Rams defense looked great. Honestly, their defensive line looked really good, and I think that's going to be one of the main reasons that the Rams are able to beat the New England here. Let's go to here. So as you can see here, the Patriots ranked 28th in sacks allowed. and the Rams are 14th in sacks gotten or whatever, you know what I mean? This defensive line played great. They held A-Chain to under 40 yards. Under 40 yards rushing. And that's one of the Patriots' best, like their offensive identity. I know Drake May's slinging the ball around, but if they can't run, he's not going to be able to do that. And this offensive line is not going to be able to hold up against this Rams defense. That's one of the main bulletin points. Whoever wins in the trenches is who I want to take gambling-wise typically. Another little thing here, Matt Stafford had a terrible game on Monday Night Football versus the Dolphins. 0 touchdown passes, I think 2 interceptions. He looked terrible. Sean McVay's going to come out and he's going to destroy this Patriots defense. I know they're pretty talented, but Sean McVay is not going to have a terrible game and then follow it up with a terrible game. He's going to bounce back. Also, the Rams are still alive in their division. They're 1 or 2 games out of the first spot in their division. The 49ers are getting healthy, I understand. But they still have a chance to win this. If they run a couple games and then the bye week, if they haven't already had their bye week, I'm not sure. But my theory still stands. They're still alive in this division. They're going to come back hard and ready to go. The Patriots, on the other hand, are out. They're looking forward to the draft. They're trying to get Travis Hunter, okay? Or some offensive line help, hopefully. And they just had a big win against the Bears. They went into Chicago, I believe it was at Chicago, and they won. I think it's a little bit of a letdown spot. They've won 3 in a row ATS-wise, 2 of the last 3. They're coming back home. I think this is a little bit of a letdown spot and a Rams get-back spot here. So all those things gathered together. Stafford, terrible game. McVay, terrible game. They're going to come back. Rams' defensive line is great. They're going to destroy the Patriots' defensive line. The Rams held A-Chain to under 40 yards, and the Patriots rely on the heavy run. And I think the Rams are going to be able to stop it. It's as simple as that. Better coach, better quarterback, better weapons, better defensive line and offensive line. The Rams minus 5.5 is the line here. If it gets up to 6.5, I'm still going to take it. The Rams minus 5.5 is my best bet. One of my best bets for this week. My second best bet for Week 11 is the Atlanta Falcons plus 2.5 at the Denver Broncos. So this one's pretty simple. It's kind of like the last game. Atlanta just lost a terrible game to the Saints. It was a bad spot for them because it was the interim coach game for the Saints. Everybody wants to win for this new coach. Everybody wants to prove that they can play. They want to save their jobs. So typically, gambling-wise, that's a very bad spot for the Falcons. They lost a bad game, and they've got to come back. Denver, on the other hand, was on the ropes. They were about to beat Kansas City, kick the game-winning field goal. It got blocked. Their morale shot, okay? This is the third tough game in a row. They played the Ravens, Chiefs, now the Falcons. Also, this Broncos offense cannot run the football. So that's going to force Bo Nix to try and throw the ball against this Atlanta secondary, one of the best secondaries in the league. Simmons, Bates, A.J. Terrell. I mean, this is not looking good for Bo Nix. The Falcons do have no pass rush, which I think could be a little bit of an issue. But if they pick up their pass rush this game against Bo Nix, I think this is a walk in the park for the Falcons. The Broncos have no run game, like I said, so they're going to be forced to pass against the Falcons' good secondary. See, here it is. This is the Broncos offense versus the Falcons defense. Yards per rush, right in the middle. But Javonte Williams has been terrible. I am interested to see how Audric Estime does because he had most of the carries this past week. But still, so to round it all up, I think this is a good position for the Falcons. I think it's a good spot for them. Broncos coming off a terrible beatdown against the Ravens. Last-second loss against the Chiefs. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how the rookie quarterback reacts. And this Falcon team's coming off a terrible, embarrassing loss. Now they're back on the road. I think the Falcons win this. They need to stay alive in their division to go win it. Give me the Falcons. And my third and final best bet is obviously the Kansas City Chiefs plus 2. Patrick Mahomes is not an underdog in this league at any time. I don't know the correct stat. I didn't bother looking it up, but I know it's something unreal. Patrick Mahomes has lost like no games against the spread as an underdog. He wins outright all the time. This is ridiculous. Kansas City is top 3 defense. DeAndre Hopkins is looking good. Travis Kelce's looking good. Kareem Hunt's looking good. They're the best team. They're going to go undefeated probably. They're going to win the Super Bowl. Giving Patrick Mahomes points is ridiculous. He should never be an underdog. This Buffalo Bills team looks pretty good. They're okay, I guess. Let's see what their last couple games. They've won 5 straight on the road, going back home. Covered 4 of the last 6. I don't get it. Chiefs need to be Patrick Mahomes. I mean, it's that simple. Patrick Mahomes, as a dog, you take him. If he loses, he loses. He's going to win 70-80% of the time. This is an easy bet. Chiefs didn't cover ATS the last 3. They're covering this game. They're winning outright. The NFL is going to change rules for the Buffalo Bills again because that's what happens. Chiefs beat them. Bills bitch. NFL changes the rules to favor Josh Allen. Okay, so those were my 3 best bets. I got Rams minus 5.5 versus the Patriots, Falcons plus 2.5 versus Denver, and Chiefs plus 2.5 in Buffalo. Tell me what you guys think about these in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.